What'd you get?
320,000.
Okay, she's got 320. Anybody else have anything different?
I need 66, I got 640,000.
Oh, you're missing one doubling period. 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, $640,000.
I didn't take inventory back. I thought that's 60.
Big difference or little difference?
Over a $500,000.
I said, Jeff, first of all, don't get too excited, because by the time you're ready to retire, that won't be enough money for you to retire off of. Remember we said a bottle of water is going to cost $10 to $15 just for a bottle of water? If he leaves that money sit in the account and starts spending just the interest every month after that, 12% of $640,000 is $76,800 a year, or the equivalent of $6,400 every month. But he will actually need over $10,000 a month to retire off of by then. To buy the same things that $2,000 a month would buy today. So I want you to picture this. You're retired today. You have no debt payments, you have no kids. Your house is paid for. So the only bill you have is food and grocery, the light bill, gas in the car insurance, the property taxes. How good would you live off $2,000 a month today?
Pretty good.
Would you be taking nice vacations? No. You'd be getting by, wouldn't you? But he's going to need $10,000 to $12,000 a month by the time he's 66 to buy the same things that $2,000 a month would buy today. And guys, the biggest mistake again that people make is sitting there today and believing that that won't happen to them. Has anybody heard anybody complaining about that's retirement age? Complaining about not being able to pay the bills?
No, but my grandma said to me about 2 weeks ago, she usually helps me out, so she's like, well, I have to pay insurance, and that's just her health insurance, besides Medicare.
Yep.
And AARP, that's just gonna cost $900 right there.
Yep. Who's been to Walmart lately and seen anybody 70 or older working there? They doing it because they want to or because they have to? Now don't get me wrong, there's a few of them that actually do it because they want to. They just need something to do. They're bored, right? But I'll bet you over 90% of them are doing it because they have to, not because they want to. So the next question Jeff said is, the same question my wife and I asked after we saw this the first time. They said, Mick, where in the heck could I put this $2,500 in an account and end up averaging 12% for the next 48 years? Good question. When they showed it to us and I asked them that question, they said, Mick, that's a great question. They said, how do you think wealthy people become wealthy? If it's available to them, do you think they save their money in 3% accounts, 6% accounts, or 12% accounts?
12%.
12%. And it's available to wealthy people through two things. Stock market, real estate. What's the problem with the stock market and real estate for most people you and I know?
There's no guarantee.
No guarantee, yeah. Somebody else said something.
Not stable.
Not stable.
You don't have the principal to start in a big amount.
There you go. That's the biggest problem, okay? Both of yours are valid points. It's not stable, okay? Not guaranteed. Guys, anytime a financial person says the word guarantee to you, run. When a financial person says the word guarantee, that means it's guaranteed to make them a lot more money than you. Okay? You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. But what she said is the biggest reason. If Jeff went down to a local stockbroker with $2,500 that he brought to my office, do you think that stockbroker would be excited to see him? Why not? Not much money, is it? See, if you walk into a stockbroker with $2,500, guys, you can't invest in more than 1 or 2 companies. And if you're only investing all of your money in 1 or 2 companies, are you taking a lot of risk or little risk? A lot. It puts a lot of pressure on him to help you choose the right 1 or 2 companies to invest your money in. So let's say you pick out 2. Let's pick out Coke and McDonald's. Those are probably pretty good investments, wouldn't you agree? You think Coke and McDonald's are going to make a lot of money in the next 40 years? If I'm a betting man, I'm saying yes, they are. They'll do pretty good. Except, who ever heard of Enron or WorldCom? Do you think all the people who had their life savings invested in those companies thought they were bad investments when they did it?
My dad did.
You thought it was a bad investment?
No, he was in Enron.
Yeah. He wasn't in there because he thought it was a bad investment, was he? Those are a couple bad companies that hired some bad people. Guys, here's how it works with individual stocks. Enron and WorldCom hired some bad people to be the CEOs. How do executives like that get compensated when they work for a company like that? Where's the vast majority of their compensation come from? Shares of the stock. Here's how those companies entice these guys to do a good job. We will pay you your bonus in the forms of a lot of stock. So the CEO looks at that and says, well, that means if I can get the stock price to grow, I get rich, right? Now they might pay him $1 million a year as a salary, but they'll give him $10 million in stock bonuses, stock options at the end of the year. So where's most of their compensation coming from? The stock. So here's what happened. The CEOs went to the guys who were in charge of doing the books for the company and said, if I got a deal for you, if you make it look like our company's doing better than what it really is, I'll share some of my winnings with you. So they cooked the books. It was just announced on the radio today that Hewlett-Packard bought a company last year for $10 billion. And they just found out that the company they bought was lying to them as to how good that company was doing. They're going to take a $9 billion loss this year. That's 90% of what they paid for it. Gone. So what these CEOs did is, they got the guys doing the books to work with them, drive the stock price up. So if you get $10 million worth of shares of stock for your bonus, but you can double the value of the shares, now you have what? 20 million instead of 10. As my bookkeeper, what's your name, ma'am?
Jean.
As my bookkeeper, Jean, I'll give you $2 million if you do that for me. How's that sound?
No, I probably wouldn't if I was actually offered it.
Be pretty easy to talk somebody into doing it, wouldn't it? That's exactly what happened. And as soon as it was found out what was really going on, what started happening to the share price? Now guys, it went all the way to zero. You know why? Because her dad